Okay, so my guests seated, the talk already underway, and they're Kamaldeen Abdullahi. He's a Nasara coordinator for the New Patriotic Party. Also Peter Otokono, and he's a deputy director of research for the governing NDC, also a deputy national coordinator of the National Youth Authority. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, Mama.
I'd like to start with the strike called by the doctors. There's also the pharmacists, the angle of the pharmacists, there's also UTAC. But the thing about the one called by the GMA is that on this day, it's supposed to get even very serious, because they're beginning not attending to emergency cases. They've come back to also clarify that whatever it is that they're negotiating for is not for this budget that we are running, because we know that the president responded and said he wasn't going to spend anything that was not covered in the budgets. Does this clarification mean anything? I mean, because what I said this morning was, how could the president get it wrong? I'll start with you.
Oh, I thought you would have started with the one who is coming from the presidency.
No,
because if I have to, you are getting
when did you start choosing who speaks first?
I'm not choosing, but given
so you have been given the opportunity to talk.
No, given the subject matter.
No,
you are the person.
There's no SOP here.
I would ask him
There's
that.
no
I'm
SOP
not asking
here.
you, but I'm
Okay,
just asking for your take on the issue.
I'm very comfortable. I have no problem. I know very well that what I'm going to spew out is going to be the truth and nothing but the truth. However, some people will resort to propaganda on it. Now, let me just say a very good morning to you, Amavi, and happy to be with you. I believe Roland is also in good shape wherever he is today.
Yes, he is.
Very well.
Thank you.
And I must add this, 7th August is today, a very significant day in the history of our party, NPP, when Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo chalked about 78% of the votes prior to the 2012 elections within the party to emerge as the flag bearer. I wish him well wherever he is today, and good morning to him. Seeking clarification as to whether or not the President of the Republic of Ghana was indeed well briefed or was on top of issues when it comes to the doctor strike. Like I said, I'm not the right person to have given this clarification, but then I would speak to it as it's supposed to be in a way. For me, I was sad after hearing my president, who is supposed to be reported to by his subordinates or people working under him, the happenings in line with the doctor strike, from the Labor Ministry, from the Health Ministry, from the Fair Wages Commission, and of course from the, as it were, I don't know whether Labor Commission is part of the negotiations and all that. These people are supposed to have reported to him and told him whatever that is indeed on the table that they are dealing with. But to have allowed the first gentleman of the state to come and stand in front of yet health workers again, because it was a function for health workers, midwives and all that, to say that I am not going to pay anything outside the budget of Ghana. What the doctors are demanding, yes, they may be, but there are other people sitting on the fence also watching. As soon as we pay them, they may also come with their demands and all that. It's very interesting. First of all, it means that it exposed the ignorance of the president on that matter. It means he didn't even know what they were demanding for. And this is the president who is supposed to be superintending over the affairs of this country. And I think I'm sad on that note. Very, very sad. The people who were supposed to properly brief the president maybe failed or reneged on their duty to do that. Hence, he should reprimand them. This is not the first time the president had done this. So, you remember they have allowed the president on several occasions to come on the media to tell us Doomsor is going to end. Since Doomsor started 4 years ago or 3 years ago, it will end today, it will end tomorrow, only for them to come and say that was what the president was told. It appears that it is not the right thing. So this is not the first time. So I'm not surprised that some of these things happen in the governance of this country. And if we are going to go this way, no wonder we are where we are anyway, because the forward march has actually declined completely. If we had hitherto 14-point-something% growth in the economy, when today we projected 3.9% from the 14-point-something, we had to come again to have cause to tell Ghanaians that it's going to be 3.5%. We are declining sharply.
This is your initial comment. I'll come back to, there's also the angle of the NPP meeting the doctors and appealing to them to call off that strike action. I'll come back to that. This is your initial. But Peter, How could the president get it all wrong? It wasn't for this budget, apparently.
Mama, first of all, let me extend warm greetings to our viewers. And to say that you are looking very good, beautiful this morning.
Thank you.
You are looking.
She's a married woman.
You are looking exceedingly beautiful this morning. Now, to talk of marriage, I would also have to say that today marks my marriage anniversary, and I'm very lucky to have a very wonderful wife.
How many years have you done?
Very wonderful, beautiful, caring. I mean, she's a very amazing wife, and this was the day that I was blessed with such an amazing wife, and you cannot.
How many years have you done?
You cannot go without
She's seeking clarification on the president's
mentioning this important occasion.
She should be given an invoice. He should be given an invoice.
But Peter, how many years have you done?
Well,
I want to celebrate you.
This is my 5th year of marriage.
Okay, so congratulations.
Yeah, and I think that it's been very wonderful. I mean, it's been a wonderful experience for me.
All thanks to your wife. She made it work.
Yeah, very exciting, very supportive wife. I can't just stop,
Peter, don't depart from the matter.
But,
thank you.
But Mama, we haven't said that. I think that the issue of the doctor strike is a very interesting one, and very interesting angles and arguments, most often from the opposition. It makes you wonder what really we are in as a country. The doctors are making claims that they want an upgrade of their conditions of service.
No, they don't even have a condition. They are not looking for upgrade. It's not even there. They want a condition of service document.
No, my brother. No, when you were speaking, I kept very quiet.
I know, but I want us to correct. I just speak to the matters as they are.
I will just plead with you that you become a bit more decent.
But I shouldn't allow you to misinform people out there. Anyway.
The doctors have had conditions of service.
Never.
They haven't had a document.
Never. Please, I'm coming. Conditions of service is what is given to any employee when he's employed. It includes your salary, includes any other thing that comes, the allowances and all that comes with the job that you have taken. And nobody can tell me that doctors never had conditions of service. It is not true. They have had conditions of service. We can say that their conditions of service perhaps is expired, so they will need to negotiate for a new one. But you can't say.
I sat down with the CEO of the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission, who admitted there had not been a document which is conditions of service.
Does the document?
Unlike the teachers, theirs have expired. Correct.
No, you see, the document does not make conditions of service. As we speak, we know that the doctor is taking a basic salary of about 5,100 with 20% accommodation allowance, with 30% on-duty facilitation allowance, and with 20 gallons a month, and all those things are part of the
So to you, those are conditions of service? Those are
conditions of service. I mean, it's a matter of semantics, and to play, mischief and say that they don't have conditions of service. But these are real conditions of service.
But back to the question that I asked.
In actual fact, they cannot even tell me that all these things that we are mentioning are not on paper. They are on paper. Perhaps maybe they want some other things in addition to make it a bit more comprehensive. I think that even government would have to add some contractual agreements to it so that if they feel they can be dealt with. But having said that, I think that the interesting thing now is that the doctors are saying that they are negotiating for next year's budget, and they are not hoping to get it now. But in the middle of the negotiation, they have been bold enough to go on strike and threatening to even, withdraw all services, including those who have been admitted and all.
Oh, there's a bigger picture. And to resign, which they are entitled to, by the way.
That makes it very, 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 very unbelievable if indeed the doctors are looking at next year's budget. Because if you are looking at next year's budget and you are negotiating now, and even on the negotiating table, you are not able to proceed with the negotiation, and you go on strike, withdraw OPD services, and you are saying that now you are going to even withdraw your entire services completely and ultimately resign, then I don't think that you are looking at next year's budget, and I don't think you are being fair to the people. If indeed you are looking at next year's budget, then you are being completely unfair to the people who spend their taxpayers' money on you as a student and as a doctor who pay you. Because as it stands now, they are still taking their salary. They are taking close to their net salary around 7,000, and they are still taking it even though they are on strike. I think that is unfair. But having said that, the president was making the point that indeed we sympathize with the doctors. We sympathize with the need to meet their demands, the need to get what they want. After all, in Ghana, we have admitted that the Ghana Medical Association, even though it's a medical association, we have given it a collective bargaining right, to bargain. I think that even from the point of the law, it is not right to get the medical association, an association
to negotiate by itself.
To negotiate by itself. TUC should have been doing that on their behalf because they are supposed to be part of the TUC. But this is the case that we are having, and we as a country, we have admitted that, this is a convention that we can work with. So in such negotiations, and having appreciated the angle that they are coming from, I think that one critical thing that must feature in such negotiations is good faith. And it's painful to say that unfortunately that is missing in this particular form of negotiation. And that is why I'm sure some of the people around who were privy to some of the information and some of the claims that the doctors were making had to put the information out because they felt that...
Are you justifying that?
Not necessarily. They felt that perhaps maybe good faith was, being eliminated in the negotiation process. So then maybe some facts of the issues and some of the claims, had to be made public. But I think that all in all, the president has spoken and he has made the point very, very sound and clear. That,
didn't he miss the points?
He didn't. He didn't miss the point at all. He was on point. He was on point. He didn't miss the point.
Some persons have also criticized him for even talking on that matter publicly.
Yeah, you obviously have people criticizing him. You have the MPPs and their allies and their surrogates. The
doctors
criticizing.
No,
please.
Not MPP.
Please.
Unless you want to say doctors are MPP.
Please.
Okay.
Please. You understand? You have some of these surrogates, criticizing the president, and it's expected. Anytime the president speaks on any issue at all, you would have the MPP come after him. But I think on this occasion, he was excellent and he was on point.
Okay.
The point is that he said, doctors, you have made some claims, and we are still in the negotiation process. And we would love to engage you, and we would love to continue to have the relationships that we have had with you. And we want you to go back and treat our patients. We want you to save our lives. But the point is that we have made some mistakes in the past, and the mistakes were, the mistakes we made with our wage bill and so on and so forth. And it had very telling effects on our economy. We are still struggling to recover. So we will not make such mistakes again. So we are pleading with you, even in the face of this negotiation and in the face of the fact that we need to negotiate. Please.
No.
Okay.
He was just...
You have been so unfair to me this morning.
No, go ahead, because it's just, your time is over.
Even in the face of all this, we are ready to negotiate. We are ready to make some changes. But we beg you, it will be very, very difficult to do anything outside our budget. We cannot pay anything beyond our budget. So even as we negotiate, let's bear that in mind so that we don't throw this economy into crisis. Otherwise, we risk, getting the economy crashing, and even the value of the money that you are going to collect and the value of what the conditions that we are going to give you will mean nothing if the economy crashes.
So, Kamal, why is the NPP making it their business? You're a political party. To say that you want to meet the GMA to appeal to them after that press conference.
Oh, yes. We had our General Secretary coming out to issue a statement on the...
Is he still your General Secretary?
On the...
Peter, he is still the General Secretary of the
striking
NPP.
doctors
I thought today
matter.
It was
we also had our party, of course, members of party, of which I am a member, coming out to speak to them, passionately appealing to doctors to rescind their decision to withdraw their services at the emergency level or strengthening, as it were, the strike action that they've embarked on. We have had that cause. Of course, we had that cause to do that because we are also stakeholders when it comes to governance in this country. All political parties, citizens in this country have the right to partake or to participate in governance in their own small way or little way. And we thought that a critical service rendered departments like doctors or essential services that they render is quite important and very imperative to our forward march as a people. So if we don't come in to also make an appeal to them, then we're all going to suffer. We're all potential, as it were, sickless or so, I should say, may God forbid. But anytime you are visited,
patients.
You are visited or patients.
You mean patients, yeah.
Visited with an unfortunate, as it were, situation, which involves you going to seek for medical attention and all that, you actually will have to resort to a doctor. And if doctors are on strike, we are all, as it were, potential people who need them and all that. So it is important we come in as a party to let them tamper, as it were, mercy on whatever action that they've had. But you see, my problem as someone who wants Ghana's forward march is that the very people who are in the driver's seat, like Peter Otukono and the rest, are not doing us any good. He mentions in his delivery that show of bad faith on the part of the doctors. This was what exactly he said. And when you asked him whether some people who came out with some documents, okay, trying to incite or let the public know that this is exactly what the doctors are demanding, and to them is outrageous, inciting the public against the doctors, whether those people didn't act in bad faith. You wanted to know whether that was bad faith.
If in the negotiation process you go on strike,
whether that constituted bad faith. He never wanted to say to us that that constituted bad faith, but that was indeed the bad faith that we're talking about.
How about the fact that, you know, they decided to declare an action? We needed to tell the people.
You see, let us tell the people
where we had gotten to, and why they embarked on the strike.
Please, spontaneously, doctors didn't just get up and say we are embarking on strike.
In the middle of negotiation.
November 2014 was when they served notice that we do not have in our custody conditions of service. We're looking at the future.
But you see, even that one is really problematic.
9 minutes down, 9 months down the line, nothing. You went and sat down, slept over it, you don't even care. Then they came out to say, look, please, we have a negotiation to take place. Nothing is on the table. We've not received anything. We don't know what is happening. Then the government came to say, by 30th June of this year, you will hear from us. Before 30th June, notice was served again to government. What is happening to us through Fair Wages Commission? Still, nothing was done. Then they said, oh, by 29th of July, if we are not seeing anything, it appears there's no commitment on your part. Therefore, we will come out with a roadmap towards resigning en bloc, which will begin by not attending to outpatient departments, clients and all that. So are you telling me that doctors have shown bad faith in this? 21st of July, they gave notice again to government. What is happening to our conditions of service? You've not called us to the table. What are we discussing?
No, that's
nothing.
Not true.
Please, nothing came out. You dared them. You kept quiet. Impliedly, you dared them that by 29th of July they can do whatever they want to do. 29th of July, exactly 29th of July in the evening, they declared this strike.
It's not true.
Now you come sit here and want to talk to the people as though the doctors just got up and said, we are embarking on strike, and then that's it. It's not so. No wonder elements in his party came out to tell us that, oh, if the doctors want, they can resign, we'll go and bring Cuban doctors. But his own youth organizer, wait a minute, his own youth organizer, and his own, wasn't a Greater Accra Regional Chairman, Adikoka, said so. One of their members, who they revere a lot and respect him so much when it comes to legality, a lawyer, Lawyer Malba, sat on a media platform and said that, why are doctors asking for about 100 gallons of, as it were, fuel? Are they going to operate a filling station with it?
But you know, 100 gallons is 2 drums.
It doesn't matter.
You know a drum.
Wait a minute.
2 drums.
That's why it's negotiation. You just said something. They have come out with their quotation. You are supposed to sit with them. Jaw. Tell them, no, the strength of government cannot do this. We can't do that. Let's all come and we'll meet you halfway, or we'll get to a point and we'll all understand ourselves. You never did that. What you did was to come out in the social media or through the social media, through Standard or whoever, brought it out and said, this is what the doctors are demanding. Public, look at it. Trying to paint the doctors black. You think when you do this, you can have excellent negotiation? Only for
when you paint government black, that is good.
Marvin, only for president to come and sit down.
When you paint government black is good.
Tell the whole world that he is not only on top of issues. He doesn't know what the doctors are demanding for. The doctors are not telling you that they want anything from the 2015 budget. Already their salaries and everything is part of it. What they're saying is that...
So why the haste?
Wait a minute.
So why are we allowing people to die now?
From November 2014.
When you are looking at next year, why do you allow people to die now?
Don't do that. 9 months down the line, knee-jerk approach, Proactivity is not part of them. All they know is to do firefighting. If there's a problem, they'll come out. Is that how we run governance?
Peter, somebody's gone to court. Somebody's got to court on this. Is this the way forward?
Mama V, you see very interesting views from the MPP every time. I mean, the MPP that some few years back in 2007 had to sack some doctors from
I thought we could move on from there. That's why I brought the court action.
Yeah, we are certainly...
Somebody's gone to court on it. Is that the way to go?
No, we are certainly going to move on.
Let's move forward with our
Mama, we will move on. We'll move on there to that place. But you see, sometimes it's very important that we give a little reminder to themselves. Perhaps they themselves have forgotten that just in 2007, they sacked doctors because they were on strike. They were pushing them to resign. In fact, they did not even get them to resign. They sacked them. But you see, be that as it may.
That's not true.
But be that as it may.
The difference between President Kufuor and John Dramani Mahama is that
no, President
Kufuor knelt down.
No, you will not do this.
Doctors are striking.
No, you will not do that.
If you want me to kneel down and beg you, I will do that. Because
come on, you will not do this.
But you have sat on a platform to say that doctors, I won't pay you, I'm not going to pay anything out of budget. When you overspend your budget at the presidency,
can we allow him,
you overspend your budget at the presidency.
Let's allow him.
Mama V. Thank you very much. I think that we should let some decency prevail.
But I would like us to speed up on this. So
the point that the MPP are making, that they are going to even plead, it's so mischievous, it's exceedingly mischievous. Because then it creates the impression as if Ghana, the government is not engaging, there was where you are going to plead. Meanwhile, bear in mind that the General Secretary of the head of the Ghana Medical Association is a known MPP member who is a member of their manifesto committee. And you have seen his outburst in recent times.
Who's that?
Dr. Srebo. You understand? And you have seen his outburst in recent times.
Does it discredit what the association...
It raises some questions, especially when some of the doctors are dissenting. Some of the doctors are saying that we will not partake in this strike because we think that there's something else motivating the strike. So when you go to the three northern regions, the Volta region, doctors are still working. There are some doctors who are coming into the media and saying that these claims and this things that they are putting on the table, and even a subsequent strike, is so unfair to government.
I haven't come across.
You have not. Then that is too unfortunate. That is very unfortunate. But that is very unfortunate. But there have been doctors that are speaking
because you know that
in various
the
interviews.
House officers also issued a statement, and indeed those at CAF, the Confanochi Teaching Hospital, also issued a statement yesterday.
Yes, but you would have this pockets. No, you have this pockets of statements coming out. But the most important thing is that there are several other doctors who are also working.
So this action, from what you're saying, is very political. Is that it?
Yes, it's getting exceedingly political, and that is very worrying because because we are expecting that when such issues are at hand, we eschew all forms of political, involvement and speak to the facts and be very fair to the issues.
How is it getting political?
It's getting political because, I mean, you know that, one, going on strike has political implications for the ruling government and that the opposition want to launch on.
Should they care? If they are asked if what they are doing is legitimate, I mean, if what they are asking for.
No, but that is why perhaps maybe somebody had to leak what they were requesting for if it's legitimate. You understand? But that is not really what. Yeah, but that is not really what we are looking at. What we are looking at is the fact that we have an effective way forward. Where the doctors
now you want to go forward because I'm asking what makes it political, and then you said the first one. You were going on to the second one.
So I should give you the other angle.
Yes, please.
The other angle is that you have leadership of the GMA, most of whom are known, political figures. And it's obviously
such as
Dr. Srebo. I've mentioned Dr. Srebo.
Okay, you said most of whom.
You understand? You can't.
But you mentioned one.
I hope you will not have enough time for me to mention all.
No, I have all the time.
But be that as it may, That is not really the gravamen of the issue. But the point is that we know Dr. Srebo is a known MPP person, and we are very hopeful that when we are doing such negotiations, we can be political. Everybody votes in this country. Everybody has a political party, but we should eschew, bringing in our political, lenses into such, instances. Otherwise, then because of your political interest, somebody may
But
be
I'm
losing
curious,
a
because of
somebody,
one person,
somebody,
it makes the whole association.
No,
we are done with the
I'm not
subject.
saying that the whole association.
Oh,
please,
okay.
don't get me wrong.
No,
I would never say that.
So that's what I'm
I
saying.
would never say that.
Because of one person.
No, I would never say that.
Are you saying the action of
No,
the
but
whole
leadership
association
is key.
is political?
Leadership is key. It's such a decision to go on strike. Leadership
I'm
is
happy
key.
you have
I am
pinned
sure
him
you have
down
heard.
to
Oh, please.
this point.
I am sure you have heard Dr. Sribo's outburst. And what did you see in his comment? And he is the leader. He is the leader. Leadership is key. He is leading the
we don't have to allow this
and he's
man
supposed
to
to set direction for them. So I mean, let's not overflog this matter, please. Let's not overflog this matter.
Please.
The point is that
what do you want to say?
I want
quickly,
to say that
30 seconds,
I want to
because we
say
have to
that
move ahead.
the GMA has a general assembly where they attend to take decisions.
Mama, that is not
being the leader or Edisa being the leader.
You linked Dr. Sribo to his party.
I'm not interjecting you. I only want you to know that you cannot call doctors in this country as
I've never done that.
They are not politicians.
I've never done that.
They have the right to join any party.
That is why I was careful to have mentioned one person's
to say that the entire GMA is political. It's an insult to the
He's clarified that.
No, he's not
He said leadership.
I never said
leadership.
I never said that.
Is it the only Dr. Sribo who is the leader?
And I was careful. I was careful to have mentioned a single.
Wait a minute. They have leaders as a group, and you sit down here to say whether or not what you are saying is even true. That Sribo is an MPP, and therefore the entire leadership of GMA SMPP.
Is he MPP though? Is he MPP?
It's not true. I don't even know. That's what I'm saying. Whether he has even evidence, I don't know.
He has admitted.
The fact is that it's not even true. It's not even true that the entire GMA can be termed to be politicians or call MPP people. Now today, what is he saying? He says when you go to Volta region.
Can I have my time?
When you go to Volta region.
No, we are done with this issue.
We're done with this issue. Doctors are working.
We're done with this issue.
That would not be fair to me.
No. It was only a question that I asked, and you decided to.
No, he wasn't interjecting me. I
I asked if the court action was the way forward.
Yes,
but you decided to answer it in a different way, which is acceptable. We have to move on. We have to move on to the next. Don't say I haven't been. Don't say I haven't been unfair to you. Let's move on to this issue. Hopefully, it would cool off the temperature in here. The Power Minister, Dr. Kwabena Donko, has directed the national power agencies to disconnect metropolitan municipal and district assemblies, which default in the payments of electricity bills. I don't know how much of this information you have. And okay, so I'll start with you because since you
again, he's had the whole day.
No. I want to start with Peter. Okay, is this something that we can enforce?
Again, I think that my brother Kamal wants to speak out throughout the program. But on the issue of the electricity to MDAs, government took a decision, and the decision was to make sure that people do not abuse, state resources, because most often in these are MDAs or MMDAs, most of the institutions, you go there, they sit the whole day. Sometimes they put the televisions on and nobody is watching. They put a lot of things. When they are leaving, they put the lights on, they leave their conditions on, and so on and so forth. So I recall in 2010 or 2009, thereabout, Professor Mills, coming in with a directive that even in the institutions, as much as possible, they should not even, put on their televisions and all that.
And I've got to be, I have to be rude to catch you. I'm sorry. The Habitat Fair 2015 is beginning, and my colleague is on standby to give us a little update, and then we'll wrap this up quickly. So, Smart Ni Akofi Abe is on standby to tell us what's happening at the Accra International Conference Center now.
A few of them are also arriving still with their products that they're going to display to the public, and some of the staff who would also be manning the stores are also arriving. We're expecting a lot more activity to pick up a lot more within the hour, but just to remind you and our viewers out there, we'll be having the official opening ceremony of this fair at 10 a.m. and it will be live here on Joy News as well on Multi TV. But we have lots of exhibitors over here. We have anything and everything you can ever think of in terms of building. Is it from mortgage through to building your house even if you want a land to buy, the people are here to talk to you about what you need. It's a one-stop shop for everything you need about your house. I was in there a while ago. I saw some people also setting up. They have tiles for, they have tiles for the washroom, tiles for the bedroom, tiles for any part of the house that you want. There's also paint available. There's also even a kids playground that is up for sale as well. So if you just want to set up that small space for your kids to have their time to play, of course, this is the best place to come. You have anything also from roofing. Everything housing that you want is available here at the Multi-TV HFC Habitat Fair. And remember, this is the 6th edition of the Habitat Fair, proudly brought to you by Multi-TV and HFC in partnership with SETI Realty and Noble Realty. So, Mamavi, this is what's happening so far here at the conference center. We are setting up, but we are almost set, I must say. If you go in there, most of them are almost set. But at 10 a.m., we'll bring you the live opening ceremony of the Multi-TV HFC Habitat Fair right here from the conference center. We are here today, Friday. We are here Saturday, and we'll wrap up finally on Sunday. But we're here throughout the day on Sunday as well. So you can swing by either between today and Sunday and just patronize or get advice on housing.
And very well said, Nia Kofi Smart Abe from the Accra International Conference Center, where the Multi-TV Habitat Fair 2015 is beginning today. Here we'll have to wrap up because we have to make way for entertainment. But I catch you. Yes. You would have 30 seconds to end, and I'll give you 1 minute.
So the import was to get the MDAs to pay their electricity bills on their own budget. By so doing, the leadership of the MDAs will ensure that they utilize the limited electricity supply that they are getting and their resources more effectively, because then it will affect their budgets. And I think that initiative was an excellent one. Now all MDAs buy their electricity. In my institution, National Youth Authority, we have to buy our prepaid.
Oh, you buy credit.
And most of the institutions have been converted to prepaid meters, where you don't need to accumulate debt. So if you don't buy the prepaid, your institution has gone down. Okay. So you would know how to manage electricity. So
Kamal, is this the way to go?
Talk is cheap. Talk is very cheap.
But when talk has positive implications, it's still cheap.
When you go into the Constitution, somewhere Article 252 thereabout, it tells you clearly the common fund is supposed to be provided to district assemblies, and that's what they're going to use to run developmental projects, and as well as keep the administration of the
this very tangential.
No, wait a minute. I want you to understand something. Someone sat in this country and went to court on reasons why the government is not paying statutory, as it were, doing statutory payments. Sometime common fund will go into arrears for about 3, 4, 5.
No, this is very diversionary.
And I'm saying if you want to appeal to MMDAs,
if you want to be efficient in this country,
this is a
directive.
Oh, please.
Towards efficiency, and you don't want to support it.
Okay.
MPP
So you don't see it working.
So MPP is not supporting this.
Thank you very much.
So MPP is not supporting this.
Why are you making it political again?
No, MPP is not supporting this. I'm just shocked. You see, this is the kind of politics we are doing in this country.
MMDAs owe filling stations.
Okay.
This is the kind of politics that we are doing.
This is where we have to end.
Such a development.
Coming up next is entertainment.
MPP is taking against it. Do what is right.